cat, Cheryl cat. I'm alive, and this is really the first day, not even 24 hours after my Regenexx SCP. I'm elated, sort of, and I'm, want to be very straightforward about the procedure. I guess my audience today will be for those who are contemplating in orthopedic injury treatments without surgery, meaning without being cut apart, for them to put some kind of metal plates in you or drill a hole in your femur so they can stick it. That's exactly what they do with an artificial hip. It's like a hip or a knee. It's all artificial, meaning that it's metal. It's not made from God. It does not have the same quality of your bones and your marrow. It's just something that's like a placeholder. I think it's gonna rot, so I'm really not for it. Anyway, I've been through my Regenexx SCP. This is my I don't know, the 18 times treatment. So every time is a little bit of it's a little different. And what I wanted to say is that congratulations to me. There's something really good that happened. I had a very clear communication this time with my provider, who is Dr. Centeno. He's also the founder of Regenexx. Of course, I'm not going to say anything bad because, I'm going to get myself in trouble. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be very straightforward. Thank you, Dr. C, for giving me a thorough exam. I'm not quite sure that lady there. I'm not criticizing about the lady that was there taking notes or what have you. I think that's an easier way to dictate notes. But when I went outside the room, I had some questions for her. I thought that she did not like that. She's like, don't bother me. So, I'm talking about the good, and I also think that there's room for improvement, because when you have a bigger organization or machinery, when you have so many things that is clicking in place to streamline the process, there's got to be a little bit of a glitches. So there are a couple of glitches. I'm thinking maybe I should talk the good first. That which always, Dr. Centeno never keep you waiting. Well, except for in the end. This time is very different in the injecting the OR room, where you have the fluoroscopy and all that stuff ready. Just because that now I think the doctor requires the patients to undergo the IV sedation. It means that when you're laying on the table, he doesn't want you to be moving around, especially like, somebody like me. I could go wah and push his arm, and then a needle slips, and God knows, and hit the rabbit. I was just running by, and we don't have Easter anymore. I just think that because of that transition, that's a big shocker to me. So with that in particular, what I want to say is needs to be worked out probably a little bit smoother with that transition. My personal reflection is maybe I've been doing this for 8 years. When I say doing this, coming to Regenexx in Colorado for 8 years, believe it or not. So I just noticed that these things are different, and I would say that the IV injection versus the just the regular lidocaine, because I'm doing my spine. It means like the transverse processes, the multifidus, and all those ligaments are being injected with PLM, which I know is a fancy word for lysate, platelet lysate. The difference are between the platelet lysate and just the SCP, which is a super concentrated platelets. Thank God I just learned that from Emily. I love Emily. She knows a lot, but it's just an easy way to understand is the lysate is the broken up. You know, the growth factors in the platelets are busted open. So they freeze them, they bust them open. This way, it's like fast food, instantly to be used by your body for healing. And the other stuff, it's called the super concentrate. So there's a discrepancy. I usually have the 20x, and meaning, I know, thank God for 20x. As much as you have, let's just say, per square inch of your blood that is going through your vein, for I don't know how, or not per square inch per se, because your vein should not be calculated that way. Well, you have to understand me from a layman's term. Otherwise, I'll be the MD right now injecting you. How would you like that, right? Just what, you know, the volume in your blood. Let's just say, pretend you have a gallon, right? A gallon of blood. You don't give a gallon. Let's just say your platelets are like, my gosh, 400 million. That is even a very antidote. I mean, that's not even a realistic number. But I'm just taking it for example. You have that many platelets available. So what you do is when you take 1 ounce and that goes down to, you know, let's say divided by the 1 gallon, if you don't know mathematically, neither do I. It goes down to maybe 400,000 per little vial, 1 cc. So then imagine that you take that 1 cc, you put it in this fantastic, not your best size centrifuge, the cheapy $500 one they send you for free with the kit. Not to really discourage people from getting the platelet treatment, but this is where I think Regenexx really excel or differentiate themselves. I mean, if you're looking to bet on a race horse that's fast and furious, that's what you want to look for, an edge. So what I'm trying to say is, if you go to a regular chiropractor, or I'm thinking there are a lot of people that will provide the so-called the PRP, because that is very popular nowadays, since it's sort of easy cash, because they just have a small centrifuge machine in the office, and with the kit, so-called the kit, I believe that it's like a lease thing from the company that does these release these centrifuge machines, and it's just like a regular blender, let's put it that way. So with a regular blender versus a Ninja bullet, you know, you have more power. So when you have more power in your ability to concentrate, that means that you compact every vial of the platelets in the blood into a little vial. Let's just put it that way. So that's called 20x, 20 times more concentrate. That's all. So if I have not confused you now, I don't know what I did. But the point is, the bugger was really, with this new IV thing, you're not supposed to eat and drink, okay, the IV sedation, so you don't move around and flop around. I'm just saying the downside is you cannot eat nor drink like so many hours, 6 or 8 hours, something like that, before you're getting injected. So usually after my blood draw, I like to wolf down my little lunch, which consists of some chicken liver and more chicken liver, beef liver, because it replenishes the blood. Remember, the blood, life is in the blood. The blood is everything. So with this IV thing, I have to say, the sedation, of course, you get knocked out. They're calling me now. I will be right back. So I guess they're seeing if I'm alive.